Hello everyone, welcome back to another one of my videos, and today I'm going to start a brand new series. It's how to read and write music notation. I'm going to be using some software called MuseScore 3, and it's actually free software, so if you want to go and download it, the link will be in the description. You can also go to the MuseScore website, just Google it and it'll come up. And in this series I'm going to be showing you how to write and basically read music notation, so all the little notes and the clefs and what they mean and what they do, and also how that relates to your instrument. So I'm going to be writing it on bass and treble clef to start with, and then we might work up to different types of clefs like the alto clef and the tenor clef and things like that. So if you're new here, hit that like button and subscribe if this is your thing. Let's get to it. Okay, so this is MuseScore 3, and this is the first episode, the stave and treble / bass clefs. I know what you're thinking, what does all of this mean? What's all these lines? What's these symbols? What's the numbers for? Well, that's what we're going to explain in this video. Right, so the lines that you see indicate notes. This is indicating the pitch of those notes. So this one is called a treble clef, which means sort of higher notes, and this is a bass clef, which means lower notes. This is indicating time signature. We're going to get into that as well later on, but basically it's saying there's 4 beats in every bar, or measure if you're American. This symbol here is just indicating that these 2 staves, like these lines, there's 2 sets of lines for notes. This is indicating that these are joined together. So like a piano would have the treble, which is played by the right hand. So this section on these notes would be right hand, and this would be left hand, the bass notes. And this is indicating that they're linked, like it's grouped together like one instrument. Okay, so I'm going to go through the lines of these staves. So this is a treble clef. So the first one, this is an E. The second line is a G. The third is a B. The fourth is a D. And then the fifth is an F. And there's loads of ways to remember this. So E, G, B, D, F. And the way that I was brought up to remember this is every good boy deserves football. But there's different ones that you can remember. If you Google it, there's loads that come up. Or you can make your own up for this. So E, G, B, D, F for the lines of the treble clef. And now we're going to do the spaces. So the spaces in between these lines, they also equal notes. So this one is F. This one is A. This one is C, and this one is E. And that one's really easy to remember because that just spells out face. So E, G, B, D, F, and F, A, C, E. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just write all of this out together. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and F. In music, when you get to the G, that's like the stop off point. It goes back to A. So it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And in this situation, we're started on the E note, so it's E, F, G, and then back to the beginning, A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. Like this can actually carry on up the stave, so we've got to the F at the top. So we can carry on here going G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. And you can also go below as well. So you could go E, D, C, B, A, and so on. And these are called ledger lines when you're adding little lines, like extra lines to the stave. Right, so that's the treble clef. Let's do the bass clef. So the notes of the bass clef are G at the bottom, B, D, F, and A. So they're the lines of the bass clef. And again, there's another rule to remember this. The one that I was taught was good boys deserve football always. Similar to the other one, but just starts on a different note. And the spaces on the bass clef are A, C, E and G. There's no easy one to remember the spaces on the bass clef like there is a treble clef. The treble clef is just face, whereas the bass clef, the way that I was taught to remember it is all cows eat grass. So A, C, E, G. And then again, it's just the same as before where you just go up the scale, so you go up the alphabet. So starting on the G here, we go G, and then we go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A again, A, and then you can carry on going up. So A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. One thing that I should note here is these are completely different octaves. So, oh, one sec. Let me just delete these notes. So, a G here in the treble clef and a G here, so E, F, G. These are an octave apart, and an octave is basically a full set of notes down. So if you think about the alphabet going up, you go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then A again. That's another octave, that next A. Between these two notes is an octave, and the middle of these notes, the ones that they share, is the C. So if I just draw a C here, this is actually called middle C, and on the keyboard it's right in the middle of the piano. And this middle C in the bass clef is here. So these are actually the same note, pitch-wise. So that gives you some sort of indication of where the pitches sit on the piano. So if I was to play C, D, E, F on the right hand, and to copy that exact same notes in the left hand, it would be this. So that's the same note in left hand, right hand, which obviously is impossible to play because you can't really play the same note with both hands. But it's just giving you an indication as to the position of the notes on the staves. This can actually be very confusing to beginners, like why did he have an E on the right hand there, but an E in the left hand is here? Like it doesn't make sense. Why not just have it all as the same note? That actually comes down to orchestration. Like different bassier instruments and treble instruments, they have different keys. Like they're set to different notes, so it's a lot easier to write the music when they're spaced out this way. It's very confusing. It confused me when I was starting out, like writing music and reading music, but you'll figure it out like as you go on that it actually makes sense this way. So just to recap, the notes of the scale, these are called scales, by the way. So when you go up the scale like this, it's E, F, G, A, B, C. That's a scale. There's 8 notes in a scale, and we're going to cover scales extensively like later on. So this is like a simplified scale, but a scale just implies the movement of notes, like E, F, G, like going up a pattern. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and then back to F at the top. So this an octave below on the bass clef. If you want to have like some sort of exercise that you can do, load up MuseScore and just try and copy this an octave below in the bass clef. Where would you start here? Like you need to figure out the notes of the staves. It's a good idea to take notes on this, so go back and check out the notes of the stave, work out which is E, and I want it to be 1 octave below. So copy all of this 1 octave below, And you can pause the video now while you do that, if you want to do that. And I'm going to write in the answer now. Okay, so an octave below this is, so this is beginning on an E note. And we're going to go G, A, B, C, D, E. So this is the E that we're starting on. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and F. So that is how you would copy that an octave below in the bass clef. Okay, so I'm going to play that back to you now just to give you an understanding of how it sounds, like the octaves. You can hear that the right hand is playing some notes, the left hand is playing the exact same notes but an octave down. Or some people will say an octave, but I pronounce it as octave. So it's the same notes but just lower pitch. And that sounds like this. Right, so that's it for this first video. If this has helped and you're getting something from this, you're learning something, then give this video a like. Also, leave any suggestions or questions. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them. And I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Yeah, it's a good idea to take some notes while you're doing these videos. So just write down the notes of the stave, all the line notes and the space notes. Make sure it's labelled treble clef, bass clef, so that you can differentiate between them. And yep, the next video will be coming soon. Thanks for watching.